Good afternoon, everybody. How are we all doing? Hope we're all doing fantastic. Let me get the intro song off here. There we go. All right, so we are here in our Sunday afternoon time slot on behalf of Pure Racing League, and this is our Masters Series finale. Welcome in, everybody. Family-friendly broadcast as always, and I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. So, hope everybody's had a great weekend. Let's finish it off with the champion today, shall we? It is round 6 of 6 here this afternoon, and we are at Deep Forest Raceway in the US of A. It is an afternoon time condition. It is cloudy with a fair amount of clouds over the racetrack here today. It's going to be a 23-lap race with the Group 4 Renault Megane Trophy 2011 car. It's a fun little hatchback car. Racing hard, medium, and soft tires are required here today. It is 8 times tire wear, 2 times fuel, and a 10-minute qualifier. So that means every time that drivers go around the racetrack, they're going to be using 8 laps worth of tires and 2 laps worth of fuel here today. So it should be fairly challenging as far as the tire wear goes here for our drivers. On the screen there, you can see in front is, of course, that great racetrack there, Deep Forest Raceway. And I'm just going to bring my little cheat sheet up here, so bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, as I do that. Hope we're all doing very well today, and this is again a family-friendly broadcast, so you are definitely most certainly allowed to have the kiddies watch and not have to worry about anything bad being said on the stream here. So just a heads up to our parents that are watching out there. All right, so a little bit of fun facts here about a racetrack. It's a 2.64 mile racetrack, 4.25 kilometers, has 18 left and right hand corners, is a tarmac surface. It's an original circuit, meaning it is developed by Gran Turismo, and has an elevation change of about 164 feet. So a little bit of fun facts here about Deep Forest. It's set on the picturesque background of the Deep Forest track, has a long start-finish straightaway plus a long back straight, giving drivers a perfect chance to move up a few positions. However, this track also has its fair share of tricky turns and sections. On the map above, we've marked a few critical areas of Deep Forest that the drivers need to watch out for, and we may touch base back on that a little bit here in the broadcast. We'll see how things are progressing here today, and you can see our drivers are kind of lined up there. Better hit the loud pedal, says Steve. I'm almost home, says Baby. Gotcha. All right, so we got to fix the game audio. So if the stream lags out for a moment, I do apologize. I have to open a program in order to fix it, unfortunately. And if you're watching, Paymay's on the way. This may even black out the stream for a moment. Don't panic, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so 23 laps around here in the Group 4 cars. We're going to have about a 45-minute race here today as well. And it's going to be a good race with the 3 tire compounds here required today as well. So that should really make for an intriguing strategy here today. And I just want to make sure, there we go, we've got it all sorted out. Hey, got you, Payme. Group 4 Megane Trophy 2011, Payme. All 3 tires. All right, welcome in everybody if you're just tuning in. Sometimes people just get in here at about the 5-minute, 10-minute point of the stream, so I just want to say again one more time that we are here on behalf of Pure Racing League. This is our Masters Series finale. It is round 6 of 6, and today we are racing the Group 4 McGain Trophy 2011. It is a doozy of a little car. It's a mid-engine rear-wheel drive car, and it's a hatchback style race car here today as well. So it's sleek, it's very sexy, and it is going to flow around Deep Forest Raceway here today. So as you can see, we have some shots of around the track and of course the track here from our production crew on the screen, and that's just to give you guys a little bit of an idea of what is around the racetrack as well as what these drivers are dealing with on the racetrack. 8 times tire wear is going to be significant here around this racetrack. There is only a couple of points on the racetrack where you're really just driving in a straight line, and then there's a good third of the racetrack that is just all twisty turnies, hard corners, undulating up and down parts of the racetrack to simulate, of course, being built in a mountain. So very difficult racing conditions. Of course, it's very cloudy and overcast here on the track today with C05 weather setting. That may even make it a little bit misty or hazy as well on the racetrack. So the weather we're seeing in the video is not the weather, obviously, as this was filmed pre-race, so the weather is not quite giving it justice here. It is much more cloudy today. That mountain air is cool up here at Deep Forest Raceway today, so it should be interesting to see how that's going to affect, of course, grip in the drivers as they're going around on each of the compounded tires. The racing hard tires are going to be very slippery here today with the weather conditions, and the racing mediums might be a little tricky as well till they get warmed up. The softs may get a little bit of longevity, however, though, with, of course, the cooler track temperature will hopefully allow them to save maybe a lap or two of extra tire with the cooler conditions. So it's going to be very interesting to see how everything plays out here today. Yep, sounds good. We're just getting the word from race control that we're just going to be a few minutes behind here today. There's a couple things going on behind the scenes that we got to give a little extra time for. So we'll have a little bit of time just to hang out with the chat. So how's everybody doing today? Welcome in. YouTube is popping. Welcome in, YouTubers. We love you. Payme, we got Steven up in the house as well. We're just going to take this opportunity here real quick to just go check on everything. We got Blaine coming in with a heart on Facebook there as well. Appreciate you, my guy. All right, everything's looking pretty good. So let's talk about our racetrack here some more. Too many buttons. All right. So Deep Forest Raceway, turn number 1. We're calling this turn Geneva. It's a great spot for passing, and drivers need to be mindful of their speed as they approach the braking zone. Excessive throttle control is critical. Exercising, pardon me, throttle control is critical in this turn. That leads us into point number 2. Do not cut this corner. The Eiger S is the next section coming out of turn number 1 here. Track officials installed sausage curbs that sit perpendicular to the track. Even touching these curbs will upset your car, potentially also get you the track limit penalty. From there, that takes us into turn 4 and 5 with the Borstein curves. You use turn 4 to set up for turn 5 to open the best line. This can be helpful in battling for position and may help you get alongside the other car before reaching Cern. That takes us right down into the middle part of the racetrack as turn number 6, point number 4 in red, Cern. Cern is renowned for the many passes made here. Expect to see many battles fought here. So there we go. We really need to pay attention to turn number 6. We have point number 5, the section known as Arrow, can really be trimmed to be nearly straight. Make your aim as true like William Tell, and sure to keep 2 wheels on the racetrack, meaning you can utilize track limitations there through that sector. From there, that takes us down into Zurich. This has a downhill grade, so drivers may struggle with grip. A driver's approach to Zurich will dictate their line and speed through Zurich. Drivers who make the best approach will be rewarded. From there, that takes us into a setup for a very long run around the racetrack, and that's turn number 10, Toblerone. And this map clearly shows Toblerone as a sharp turn. Toblerone is nearly 115 degrees in radius, but on track it looks like it's nearly a 90-degree turn. This has fooled many drivers and has caused them to overshoot the corner. That now leads us through the Matterhorn Tunnel and the Monte Rosa Tunnel, so it's a very long back straight, probably almost, I bet you 3/4 of a mile long by the looks of it there, and it has 2 tunnel sections in it as well. From there, that takes us into St. Bernard's Bend, and this is a very hard braking zone. It's a low-speed hairpin turn. The St. Bernard will test brake systems, tires, and even fortitude of our drivers. It's very easy to overshoot the turn, especially in a heated battle. Drivers should consider using visual references. And then that takes us up through the Autobahn sector, Heidi's Curve, Meadow, and Lone Tree. Autobahn's a very high-speed turn that can be taken at full throttle. Send it! That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. So, 6 of 6, and that leads us into a little break here from Pure Racing League after our race has finished here today, and then from there, that leads us into a little break before the next season, of course, with the Gran Turismo World Series now underway. Nations Cup Round 2 just finished up yesterday, and hope everybody has had good attempts and good races and done well in the races so far for that. So the focus for a lot of our drivers here from Pure Racing League right now is, of course, on that World Series online qualifying portion, which is happening right now for Nations Cup. So that is why we'll see a break in the season. That is so our drivers here from Pure Racing League can put all their attention and focus on that Gran Turismo World Series event that is underway already. Like I said, for online qualifying, it's super important. It's how you get into the live events. So a lot of focus being put there from a lot of the drivers here at Pure Racing League. So last run of the season here for a little while, and then we'll be back in the fall again sometime, I'm sure. But in the meantime, sit down and enjoy our final race of the season, ladies and gentlemen. It should be a really good one. Should be a really good one. Let's get rid of that. There we go. And we got our last set of drivers here as well. So we should be seeing a race start here fairly shortly. About 2 minutes time here. And I want to welcome in for our last run here from season number 2 from Pure Racing League. So it's been a very highly competitive season this season. And right now it is Mehdi trying to defend his championship here today at Deep Forest Raceway. And it is Robbie Heck that is closing in very close on him here. So the battle really is between the two of them here for our overall championship today. But that does not mean that Holman, Risky, and some of our other drivers here on track are not fighting for better positions here on the racetrack in the end of the season here as well. So there's a lot on the line for each of the drivers on track here. And with it being a smaller field here today, it's really good points available to each of the drivers on track as well, which means potential gain in the overall final standings at the end of the season. Points matter, positions matter. That's what the racers are here racing for, the best position they can get in the season. So we are about to get underway here very soon. And at the McGain Trophy 2011, you can see on my screen, it's a little itty bitty right now. And that car will be shown on track here by Ten Tenths Simracing's TT's J set as well, representing Ten Tenths Simracing. So appreciate that. We've got Vanquish Esports here, represented by Risky and Holman as well on track. We've got Street Version being represented by Payme. We've got ERM being represented by Media Fidi. We've got OP being represented by Robbie Heck here as well. So I'm not 100% sure what that stands for. I haven't gotten the full details on all that yet. I haven't asked, so. And then we've got Finalized, who I believe is Flying Fox Racing. Now that could have changed, and I'm just unaware of it, but as I know it, it is Flying Fox Racing currently. Alright, so track officials at this point are just kind of doing their thing here. They're going to be out on track. They're going to be making sure everything's A-okay. And drivers are going to be bringing the cars into pit lane, into the paddock here pretty soon to get underway for qualifying conditions. We're going to be led in with a 10-minute qualifying session here today. So that should be 4 hot laps, I would assume, here from our racers today. Maybe 5, but I'm thinking 4. From there, That'll lead us into our racing conditions, and it'll be set in a grid order based off of fastest qualifier to slowest qualifier, first to, in this case today, 7th place. So race control is going to send these drivers out for qualifying here very soon, and we're about to get underway. To the big screen we go. That's the camera angle we're rocking with here. So it is going to be Robbie Heck to lead us out here in qualifying. First driver out. Again, this is going to be a 10-minute qualifying session. They can choose whichever tire it is they want to use for qualifying. So we'll see the drivers obviously opt to go on the faster tire, the racing soft tire here for qualifying. There's no fuel and no tire wear here in qualifying. So it is set up that the drivers are in, air quote, optimal driving conditions is what that is supposed to simulate. So essentially these drivers are on a specialized qualifying setup just for real life to be very low on fuel, only enough fuel they need to run the qualifying session to be either on fresh or scrubbed in racing soft tires for qualifying essentially. Basically work down, so that's the conditions here that the drivers are working with in today's qualifying session. You can see Robbie really giving it the beans. They're trying to build some heat up into those racing soft tires. Now that does matter here in Gran Turismo 7. You have to build air pressure into your tires for them to get into their optimal grip level. If you overheat the tires, obviously that will take them out of their optimal range, and of course as the tires wear down, they will start to lose that optimal range just by the fact that the tires are degrading. So as we come around here, this is going to be our official qualifying lap starting as the drivers come across the checkered flag here. This was their out lap. This is not an official timed lap. This is an opportunity for our racers to, of course, get that air pressure built up, get their cars kind of warmed up, and try to get them feeling as good, get the brakes warmed up. It all matters here in these race cars. So it's going to be Robbie Heck coming into Geneva here for the first time. You want to keep it nice and tight like he does here. That then takes us into turns 2, 3, and 4, the Eiger S's. Sorry, turns 2 and 3. And then that leads us into the Borg speed curve, which is right here. And then work down into CERN. So it's all a big sweeping sector. It happens very quickly. That takes us up through Arrow. And now leads us into Zurich. From there, that takes us back out of the tunnel, downhill into Toblerone. Come out of Toblerone, you want a huge run here, and it's important because now, sorry, we're at Toblerone right here. I'm ahead of myself. Zurich was just behind us there. So as you come out of Toblerone here, you see you can really utilize the exit there, but you got to keep it still on the curving essentially. That takes us down through the Matterhorn Tunnel, the first of our 2 tunnels here on the back straight, and then into the Monte Rosa Tunnel, of course. At the end of this huge long back straight is that very difficult St. Bernard's Bend here. Hard braking zone. You see these guys go right down into first gear to get rotation, right back into second gear on the exit. Great little wiggle on the way out there by Robbie Heck. He really was flying through the corner. That now takes us down in through Audubon, Heidi's Curve, Meadow, which is this little kink right here, and then Lone Tree, this second kink right here to start finish line. So let's see what the time is here from Robbie Heck and go through our field. It's going to be a 132.109. Let's see what Medi's got here. And it is pole position. Payme comes through here. He's going to stay in third. Finalize comes through, stays in fourth. VQS Risky's going to come through. He moves up into third. Holman comes through. He's going to move up into fifth place. And we got DT's JSEC coming through for his first lap. And it's going to be good for AP7. So it is Medi here in pole position after the first sets of laps by 0.2 of a second over OP's Robbie Heck here, who has just a little under 0.2 of a second under VQS Risky. Track limit penalty there for Robbie Heck, not ideal there for this lap, so he is going to just use this as a cool down lap in a sense, keep the temperature in his tires, and send the next lap. 10-minute qualifying, so lots of time for the drivers here. Minute 30 laps around here, so it'll be about 6 or 7 laps we should see over this group here today in qualifying, as we're going to stick with Medi here. Our current championship points leader coming into today, I believe. Actually, maybe Robbie Heck being our championship points leader. It is that close. It's definitely between the two of them, I know that much. I just haven't refreshed myself in the standings yet here today. We'll do that here once we have an opportunity, so we can break it down properly for everybody here. But it is Mehdi Hafidi here coming through. This is our current reigning, defending 2024 Manufacturer World Cup champion at the moment. And he is showing why all season long. He is exactly where he is after last season, and he's still on top of his game here as he comes through. So let's see what he's got here this time around. Is it an improvement? It is not an improvement. We got Risky coming through. May did improve there. Finalize improves there. Jay improves. Holman moves up into third place there with that lap there. 132.138 coming from Holman. Payme in fourth there. We got Finalize in fifth, and Jay still in sixth place here. So back on with Mehdi, who's still our pole sitter. We're going to jump over to Rob here as he is ahead of Mehdi on the racetrack qualifying. We're going to see if he can find the time here on Mehdi Hafidi here as he comes around the racetrack qualifying for that pole position. It has been an all-out brawl between these two drivers this season here in the Masters Series, and it should be no different here today. I suspect we got Stefan coming in saying go J-Set, and that like on the stream. Toolshed coming in with that like as well. Appreciate everybody from all over the world tuning in here today. Alright, so we are going to stick with Rob Heck here as he's coming through again. He's going to be the first driver to get through the start-finish line here on our third attempt in qualifying. Third lap attempt in qualifying. Let me rephrase that. And again, St. Bernard's Bend there, and a big slide again on the exit there as Rob comes through. And the driver's really trying to get down on the power as early as possible there and causing a little bit of unsettling in the back of the car. Now remember, this is a mid-engine car and a rear-wheel drive car, so it is immediate power to the rear tires where the engine placement is, and very easy to over-torque yourself coming out of the corners. Robbie does take pole position away from Mehdi there. At that time around, is Mehdi going to take it back? It's very close. Mehdi's going to stay in second place. We got Payme coming through there. Didn't see an improvement from Payme. We got Risky coming through, moves up into third place over teammate Holman. What's he got as he comes through? Looks like he's going to stay in fourth place there. Finalized just came through, and we got J-Set coming through. Does improve there, still sitting in seventh place here. So it is 0.075 of a second right now separating Robbie Heck from Mehdi in second place. Less than a tenth of a second. 3/4 of a tenth of a second, as a matter of fact. So it is very, very close here between first and second place in our championship point standings. Deeper to see if we can find him here. Alright, so Rob's coming back around here, and we'll try to continue to go through the field here in order again the best we can. Alright, so what do we got left on the clock here? We still got about 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock, so a couple more attempts here from our drivers yet in qualifying, if that's what they choose to do. So as Rob comes through, are we going to see an improvement on that pole position time? We do not. Let's see if Mehdi has a response for Rob here this time around. He takes pole position, and it's not by a little bit this time. It's by 0.2 of a second. Payme coming through does improve, but still sitting in fifth place here. We got Risky coming through right now. He is going to improve, but stays in third place here, and I can't hit the right button. Holman also improving, but doesn't change his position. We got Finalize also making an improvement, didn't change his position, and J-Set not improving that time around. So again, a couple laps to go for our front runners, potentially only one more to go for the guys that decided to come out a little bit later. But we do have Mehdi purple currently right now on the racetrack as he's continuing around. We got Robbie with a half-second track limit penalty, so that's going to kill this lap here this time around again for him. And we'll see on board here with our current pole sitter right now as we're nearing the end of qualifying. 1 minute 20 seconds left on the clock here now, and we've got Mehdi Hafidi here now coming around. He was purple there when we were on him just a second ago, so we are going to stick with him as Rob's lap, unless it's a really fast, crazy lap with that half-second track limit penalty. Is not going to see the improvement this time around. It's a very small improvement here right now from Mehdi Hafidi, and you can actually see Robbie here after having to serve that penalty just up ahead of him. So as he's coming around St. Bernard's Bend here, they're only separated by a couple of seconds now on the racetrack as well. sorry, so we're going to stay with Medi here as he comes around again with that penalty from Rob. That's not going to really help him that time around, so we'll definitely be keeping our eye on that next time around, and it didn't look like he got the improvement there that time. Oh, there is Paymay. The camera just didn't show him. And no improvement there from Paymay. Let's get to Risky and Holman as he comes through. Holman does improve, and it's good enough for second place there. That improvement that time around. We got Finalized coming through. He does improve, but doesn't find any more position. And JSEC comes through, doesn't find an improvement there. So it is Medi, VQS Holman, and Robbie Heck here now in first, second, and third place. So a great lap there from Holman to jump in between him and Medi, and that has absolutely closed up this battle for pole position. 0.015 of a second right now between Medi and VQS Holman, or sorry, Robbie and VQS Holman, and just under 2/10 of a second separating Holman from Medi right now. So it is very close right now for this pole position. This is going to be the last dance for these drivers, the last chance to try and get that final stamp on that pole position and that ever so important point as well. So here we go. Robbie coming through here right now. It's going to be their last run for him here. Qualifying big slide coming down through the corner there. That may have actually helped him on the exit as he probably kept pretty good momentum coming down and around the corner there. And let's see what he's got here as he comes around in through Hollow Tree, Heidi's Curve, and the Lone Tree as well. And it's going to be not an improvement there from Robbie. It is not an improvement there from Medi as well. No improvement there from Paymay. Let's keep going here. We got Risky. We got Holman. Holman's going to stay in second place there. Finalized coming through. Does not find an improvement. We got Jay coming through here. And it is a 33.2 there. So it's an improvement there. Puts him 0.4 of a second in behind Finalized. So it is going to be Medi in pole position here in our finale today with a 131.620. It's going to be VQS Holman with a 131.817. It's going to be OP Robbie Heck with a 131.832. Those two separated again only by 0.015 of a second. VQS Risky with a 132.069. Paymay with a 132.452. Finalized in 6th with a 32.833. And TTJ set with a 33.251 just in behind there as well. That will be our starting order here today, and we start in 2 minutes time, ladies and gentlemen. All right, how was that for qualifying? That was a battle right there between 3 drivers for the overall pole position, but Medi putting a stamp on it there with that great third final lap that he ran there. And that was enough to keep him on the top of the grid here today. So again, the racing hard, the racing medium, and the racing softs are required here in our race today. It is 8 times tire wear, 2 times fuel consumption, and it is going to be a 23 lap spirited battle here today at Deep Forest Raceway from Pure Racing League Masters Series. Let's go. Let's go. I hope everybody's doing good. Hope we're ready. Because it'll be over before we know it, unfortunately. It'll happen, and then it'll be done. The Master Series is designed to be a short endurance or long sprint, depending on how you want to look at it, I suppose, kind of style racing. And it is really to test the mettle of the drivers because it's a variation of cars. Some of them are group class racing cars. Sometimes it is high speed, high downforce road cars. Sometimes it's just outright a road car. You never know what's going to pop out of a Master Series here from Pure Racing League, and that's what makes it so interesting. And the drivers have had a lot of interesting combinations to have to overcome, combat, and deal with this season, and it has made for a pretty spicy 6-week season here from Pure Racing League. So all right, race control is going to be hitting that lineup button here real soon, ladies and gentlemen, and as we say it, he hits it. 10 seconds to race start. And we're in Switzerland. Deep Forest is in Switzerland. I apologize, I keep seeing the US of A. That is misinformation campaign on my part there, my bad. We're in Switzerland here. I always get that confused for some reason with this racetrack. It feels like it's an American racetrack, I guess. I'm not sure why. ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for the last time this season from Pure Racing League. Kick them tires, light them fires, let's go racing. We got a false start in the back by TT's J-Set, and the rest of the racers are off, and it's led out by our pole sitter, Mehdi Hafidi here. And heading into turn one, semi-defensive, trying to look on the outside. Is Holman there? He's going to get the hold on the outside, but is he going to get the position out of the corner? No, Mehdi just squeezes out in front, and it is battle on here up front, so we're going to stick with this right away here. And it is no love lost here between these drivers. We've got Paymay battling with Risky there. I think Paymay moving up into fourth position there as we head into the Eiger S's and Bernstein curves here for the first time, and it's going to be a response here from Risky in fifth place. So battle for fourth position between the two drivers here right now, and it's side-by-side action here as we head down in towards Zurich. And we're still side-by-side, and that is going to lead us down into Toblerone corner here, and it's going to be side-by-side action. Great passing zone right here. Who's going to get the better run? And it's going to be Paymay. So Paymay defends the position here in fourth place, and that was a great battle very early on. Oh, and it's going to be a half-second track limit penalty for VQS Risky. Finalized, hopefully able to take advantage of that here. And TT's J-Set just in behind here in seventh place. So the whole pack nose to tail here as we head towards St. Bernard's corner, nearing the end of our first of 23 laps here this afternoon. Let's go. Got a pit stop happening here from Robbie Heck out of third place, so that is going to move the field up. So it's going to be Holman who's now in the lead here, so I didn't even catch that. We got Holman now in the race lead, taking the lead away from Mehdi here. And as we come around to start lap number 2, we already have a lead change. So battle on here. It's Mehdi in second place. We got VQS Risky here at third. He still got that penalty as he didn't have to serve it last time around, just because he got it too close to the penalty serving zone. So that means he'll have to serve it this time around. It's J-Set here in fourth place. We got Paymay in fifth. We got Robbie coming out of pit lane and finalized coming out of pit lane. So two drivers making very early pit stops here. So it is Holman here in the early race lead, and he has Mehdi all over his rear bumper here right now. So battle for first place here. You can see VQS Risky just off in the background, about a second and a bit off there. And as we head in towards Toblerone for the second time here, ooh, a little bit of grass there under braking from Mehdi, and that is going to cost him a little bit on entry and exit there. But he manages it pretty well, and I guess that's why he's a world champion, right, ladies and gentlemen? And just gets back into slipstream, and only lost about maybe a tenth and a half, a couple tenths there. But we are going to see that penalty served here from Risky from lap number 1 here, and that is going to take him very quickly out of the slipstream of the two drivers in front. Now, the benefit is there you are coming back into a braking zone, so it doesn't affect you as heavily as it could in some of the racetracks we see here in the game that have more of those big, long, high momentum areas. But it's coming near the end of that high, long, that run, that straight into a braking zone. So there is potential to limit the damage under that penalty serving zone here on Deep Forest Raceway. TT's J-Set here in fourth place right now. He's got 2.6 seconds on Risky. We've got Paymay in fifth place, 6.8 seconds in behind. We got Robbie here 10 seconds in behind after the pit stop, and finalized 3 seconds in behind him. So race on, pit strategy full out in a force here already early on. Let's go battling. So different strategies being played out by different drivers. So let's see how that continues on through our race here. It's going to be at least 2 pit stops here from our drivers today, and I would suspect it's probably all we're going to see from the drivers here today, but you just never know what's going to happen on the racetrack. Alright, so it is Holman doing a great job at leading the charge here right now. He's got Mehdi just tucked in underneath here in second place, not applying any immediate pressure here. He had an opportunity there to present, maybe to go for a move, but he just seems content with sitting in behind Holman, putting some pressure on, and maybe waiting to see if Holman's going to make the mistake, or is he just waiting to set up for the long back straight through the tunnels here and set up in St. Bernard's Bend. Let's see what happens here as Mehdi is tucked right in underneath. Does he make the move coming into the corner? No. Alright, so I think the strategy a little bit here, maybe potentially between first and second place right now, is try to open the gap up to third place, Risky in behind, and J-Set chasing here in fourth place. So Paymay here, he's closing in 5.7 seconds on J-Set in fourth place. We got Rob in sixth place here, it's 9.6 seconds in behind Paymay, so it's a slow game, but it's gaining here, and we got finalized 4.3 seconds in behind as well, trying to keep that pace with Robbie Heck on the front. So, not a lot of battling happening here right at the moment. This is kind of essentially, I guess, the closest thing we have to a battle happening here right now on the racetrack. And this is more of a cooperative effort between Holman and Medi right now, as we're in first and second place here. And if one of the drivers obviously makes a mistake, so if Holman makes a mistake or he gets a little loose or he goes a little bit wide or something, that is the time we may see second place Medi Graffiti here maybe make a move and just get a quick pass done, to not compromise both drivers' time on the racetrack, but also not to put himself in a compromised position. Remember, these are mid-engine race cars, meaning if you're in the middle of a corner and you've got to be forced to check up behind a driver, and that forces you to have to give a little bit of brake pressure, that potentially forces you to put your car sideways under braking. So you have to be very careful and conscious of that, and that's exactly what we're kind of seeing here. That he's just controlling what's happening up front right here in second place. He's sitting in behind Holman, and again, they're slowly but surely working on building that gap to third and fourth place and behind in the rest of the pack. And you can see he's just staying close enough there where he's not going to lose Holman on exit, but close enough to also take advantage of a mistake if one is made. So good job here by Holman right now in first place as we are getting ready to start lap number 5 of 23. And it is Holman still leading the charge here. Let's go back to our field here. We've got Risky currently sitting in third position. He's got 3.7 seconds to the guys up in front here. Now he had a half-second track limit penalty, and that essentially took him out of the slipstream of those two, and now he's been trying to close that gap up since that penalty. We've got TTJ said here. He's 4.5 seconds in behind Risky. He's about 5.6 seconds ahead of Paymay here right now as we head into Geneva for the 5th time today. We've got Paymay just coming around that same corner there as well as he's rolling around. We got Robbie Heck here, 8 seconds now in behind Paymay, so slowly but surely tracking in back on the pack after that pit stop. And we've got finalized here, losing a little bit of pace there with Robbie, but still trying to close in on the pack himself after his pit stop. So again, now the pit stop sequence is starting to really see some gaps, some spacing in between the drivers until about the last 10 minutes of the race, and then the pit stop strategy should be all said and done from these drivers, and they'll all kind of close back up again and be able to have really good determination on where the battle is. But right now it is most certainly looking like it's between Holman and Medi here for a race win right now as it stands. But like I said, 2 pit stops mandatory here today for 3 different tire compounds, so that is going to add to how things shake up here today. The bigger question is now is when do we see our leaders make those first set of pit stops. We're just checking things out here right now. We got some very, very different strategies happening on the racetrack here right now. That much I'm definitely going to say. I'm not going to speculate too much more than that on that. We'll let you guys, of course, determine that for yourselves with what you can see on the screen. But there's definitely some varying strategies happening here on the racetrack right now. The race leader's starting to try and open a gap up here to Medi right now, and that is definitely what he needs to do here. Try and break that toe to Medi, but Medi is a tough customer. He's not going to let this happen easily as he's here in second place right now. He's just on the tail end of that, about 9/10 of a second in behind. We've got VQS Risky here. He's 3.6 seconds in behind and kind of starting to close back in on those two a little bit himself as well. Got TTJ said here, he's 6.3 seconds in behind the top 3 there, and he's got about 5 seconds over SV's Paymay right now, so kind of in no man's land, much of the same for Paymay. He's got 5.5 seconds for Robbie Heck, chasing in 6th place, and then 10 seconds to finalize in 7th, so the back 4 drivers are spaced out amongst each other a little bit, and then our top 3 a little bit closer together, but again, different varying strategies and pit stops going on here, and not surprised to see such a variation of strategies in the final race of the season. Everybody's looking for every second that they can on the racetrack to try and gain track position on their opponents. So it's all going to come down to the final about 10 to 7 minutes, I'm going to say right now with what I can see, based off the drivers and what they're running on and what their strategies appear to be. So I think about the last 7 minutes of the race, things are going to get real interesting. Not that it won't be interesting until that point. This is are top lobby. These are top drivers. They're not typically elbows out, race hard, all race long drivers. They're very strategic. There's a lot more thought process behind it than that. So we're not going to see those big, hard, heavy elbows out, tire to tire, paint, rubbing battles at this point in the race. You may see that stuff near the end of the race, but we're not going to see it right now. Drivers are settled in, they're working on their strategies, they got their gaps, and that's kind of what each driver's focusing on here right now as they continue around the racetrack. Cars do sound good, don't they? They sound so good. Alright, so Holman's still leading the charge here on lap number 7. Betty is just tucked in behind here. That was about a 1 second gap a lap and a half ago when we were watching these two. And now Medi going for the move here. He's going to pull out the slipstream. He's going to pull out side by side here with Holman. And that is going to give him the inside position heading into Geneva here on lap number 8. A battle for the lead here between Medi Hafidi and BQS Holman. And Medi's going to get it done into Geneva. Great passing opportunities to be made there in that corner, and that is why. Absolutely great move there. Oh, and a half-second track limit penalty there for Holman. And that must have been maybe on the exit, I guess, of Geneva there. Maybe he went a little bit wide on the curbing there. That's the only thing I can kind of, that makes sense to me where that penalty would come from. But not ideal there for Holman, as that is going to set him back very quickly here on Medi in the race lead here. Interesting strategies happening on the racetrack. Medi has decided that, hey, I got some pace, I've caught you, but a big moment coming from our number 59 driver right there. And I gotta tell you what, that is going to allow Holman to close back in here a little bit, but that penalty is still going to hurt the charge here for BQS Holman. So let's see how much that's going to hurt. You can see he served a penalty right entering into the Monte Rosa tunnel there. Now we're coming into the braking zone. The gap is about a second. See what that gap is upon exit of St. Bernard's Bend here, and once these drivers get up the race speed again, is about 1.2 seconds now is that gap. So just out of the slipstream here now is Holman. We got BQS Whiskey 4.5 seconds in behind. He is still right there. Got Jay said here, he's falling off the pace of those guys up front here a little bit. Paymay is closing in here in 5th place. That gap was 5 seconds, now is 2.2 seconds. Robbie's closing in here in 6th place as well, only 2.8 seconds in behind Paymay here. So let's jump on with Paymay as he's trying to close in on TT's J set up in front, and he's also I'm sure more than aware that OP Robbie Heck there is also coming very quickly in behind. So heading into Geneva here, big slide right there coming from Paymay as he comes around, but he gathers it up nicely. That's why these guys are in the tiers that they are in as they're competing in sport mode here in Gran Turismo 7, because it's that instant reaction time when the cars go wrong to keep themselves moving in the forward direction. Not really costing themselves a lot of time in the process. It's quite impressive. Another wiggle there coming from Paymay, and you can see Robbie just coming out in towards Zurich here and behind right now, and that leads us into Tolderone here. So the gap is coming down. It's under 2 seconds here to TTJ says 1.5 seconds right now. The gap between Paymay and Robbie is 2.1 seconds here right now. So both gaps are closing at about a relatively even pace. So this is potentially going to be a three-way battle at the same time for these positions here. Ideally for Paymay, he wants to catch J-Set here, get around J-Set before Robbie gets on the back end of him. So Robbie has to do the same thing. He has to navigate around J-Set, and hopefully Paymay can try to open up a little bit of a gap right away there and build that gap back up on Robbie, as Robbie again is chasing both these drivers down here essentially right now. So there's a lot going on in between the battle of these two drivers. We got Holman and Risky coming into pit lane. Our race leader has opted to stay out. So TT's J-Set coming here now in 3rd place, and you can see Paymay is closing quickly. He's almost in the slipstream here as we head up into Geneva on lap number 10. So that puts Jay now up into 2nd place. So now this is very quickly becoming a battle for a podium position as it stands currently on the racetrack here, and it's J-Set and Paymay for 2nd place. But Robbie is trying to make this a three-way battle here for 2nd place here as he's just lurking off in the background as well. 3/4 of a second is the gap here as we head through the Eigeresses into the Borgstein curves. Whew. Drivers are pushing hard here today. That takes us down into Lucerne, down into Zurich, and towards Toblerone here. Here we go. Jay Payme, the run is going to be everything here for these two drivers. And let's see how it breaks down here. Jay's going to go real wide on the exit there. Payme is closing in. That gap is closing. He's well in the slipstream at this point, so we could potentially see this move happen coming into St. Bernard's Bend. And what is the gap there? Robbie is still about 2 seconds in behind here right now as these drivers are tracking in towards St. Bernard's Bend. So, battle for position. We're going to go check on the rest of the pack here in just a moment. Jay goes really deep into the corridor. Payme almost follows him through, but he does get the move done, and that's going to allow Robbie to close in very quickly there. So it is going to be Payme now moving up into second place. Jay's going to give that position up there as he went wide into St. Bernard's Bend there. Allowed Payme to get the inside track. Payme almost went just as wide there, but just manages to get the job done. Both the mistakes made by those drivers allowed Robbie Heck to close in very quickly, but carrying a half a second track limit penalty right there as he comes to the start-finish line. So that means he is going to have to serve that penalty here on this lap once he gets out of the Matterhorn tunnel, entering into the Monte Rosa tunnel. So if Jason can hold Robbie off up to that point of the racetrack, it will give him a little bit of a breathing room for a little bit of time there as he has to serve that half-second penalty. Big cut there coming from Robbie, and that might add to that penalty there. We'll have to wait and see, but Robbie gets a good run there on Jay. He is tucked in the inside here as we're going around Cern, heading towards Zurich, and it's going to be a pass made there by Robbie Heck for third place, and now the mission is Payme up the front, but again, he still has to worry about this half-second track limit penalty. It's going to slow down the charge. Jay may very well get the position back here on Robbie as it comes around, but Jay goes really wide coming out of Toblerone and may have picked a half-second track limit penalty up right there himself. We'll have to wait and see here. We're going to sit with Rob as he goes to serve this penalty. Again, he is tucked into the slipstream of Payme here, and that's going to take him out of the Payme slipstream. So Jay now coming in, and Jason's not close enough to take advantage of that penalty for Robbie. He's just going to settle in under braking, tucked back in behind Rob Heck, and three-way battle for second place here right now on the racetrack. All right, let's go check on our race leader here as he's heading around Geneva on lap number 12. And 19.5 seconds is the gap here currently. A very wide exit coming out of Geneva there. Potentially could cost a penalty there as well, but depends on the race officials here today, and it doesn't look like they're going to penalize him for that. We got Payme here now up into second place, and a little bit of exchange and that penalty there from Robbie Heck in that battle for obviously position with Jay and Robbie Heck there, allowing Payme to get a little bit of comfort zone there to continue to try and drive away. But Robbie Heck coming into pit lane here, so that leaves Jay set out into third place, 17 seconds ahead of finalized here in fourth. We got Rob now coming out of pit lane. He's in fifth place here. We got Holman in sixth. We got Risky in seventh, and all these drivers are on their strategies here now. This is mid-race, and we're going to see the pack really spread out a little bit here now. But it'll all change in the final dying minutes of this race as those pit stop strategies all are finished out. These drivers will start to, again, close back up in those gaps because the gaps are separated by pit stops here in the middle part of this race. That's pretty typical, and when you have such varying strategies on the racetrack, that's definitely going to spread the drivers out a little bit, so it's going to be interesting to see who is where in the final 7 minutes or so of this race here today. First pit stop of the day coming from our race leader, Mehdi here, and that means Payme coming around. And I'm assuming he's probably getting near that point where he's probably thinking about a pit stop here as well. Let's see what he opts to do, and I would assume TT's JSET also potentially thinking about that here as well as he comes around. And yep, Payme is going to head into pit lane there, and I'm assuming JSET, no, TT's JSET's going to continue around here for a little bit. He wants to lead a lap of this race potentially, as it looks like. So let's see what he does here as he comes around. But Mehdi is actually going to come out in front of him here, so he is going to stay in second place as he comes around. Mehdi has about 3 seconds in front here. Finalized is coming around. Is he going to grab a position here on Payme now as he comes up around the racetrack? Depends on how long of a pit stop is being made here from drivers. We got Robbie Heck chasing in behind as well. No, Payme is going to come out just in between these two, but it looks like it's going to be behind as Robbie has, of course, at race pace. Coming into the corner there, he's going to slide just out in front of Payme, so Payme comes out just in behind behind Rob Heck here in 5th place. Not a terrible spot. He's got slipstream help right there. Got VQS Holman in 6th. We got VQS Risky in 7th. Again, pit strategies at play here now, so it's going to be interesting to see where all the drivers shake out when it all comes to fruition near the end of the race. Medi with a very wide exit coming through Tobin there as he heads up into the Matterhorn Tunnel, into the Monte Rosa Tunnel here, and he is flying as normal here on the racetrack. We got TTJ set here in the 2nd position. We've got finalized here in 3rd place with Rob and Payme in tow. 3-way battle here for 3rd position. And we're going to sit on board with our middle driver here, Robbie Heck, as these drivers track in towards St. Bernard's Bend. And I think we got a battle here. Oh, I thought it was Payme beside Robbie, but Robbie's actually going to move up the inside here on Finalize, and Finalize may be at risk of losing 2 here as Payme's going to try and follow Rob through, but is he going to go for a 2-fer here? Nope, he's going to settle back in line. So Finalize goes from 3rd to 5th place right there in one corner. Robbie Heck can move up in 3rd. Payme going to move up into 4th, and Finalize looks like he's okay with that as he's coming into pit lane, so scheduled pit stop coming from that driver and potentially just giving the line up to those other 2 racers, knowing that his pit stop was coming right there as well. So Finalized now in pit lane there, and he's going to give up a couple more positions here to Holman and Risky chasing it behind him. Again, that is just those pit stop sequences starting to balance out where the drivers are on the racetrack as they happen. Medi in the race lead here. We got TTJ set here in the 2nd position. We got Payme in 3rd place with Robbie tailing. So Payme taking 3rd place away from Rob Heck here on the racetrack. And now it is Robbie Heck here tucked in behind Payme in 4th position. So things are getting spicy for 3rd place here. Be great battle for our final podium position here so far today on the racetrack, as 1st and 2nd place did break away from the pack fairly early. Not too big though, so I do suspect at the end of the pit stop sequences we should see only about 2 or 3 second gaps potentially between our top 3 or 4 drivers, I suspect, on the racetrack. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out, but I suspect we'll see some very close potential battles happening in the final dying minutes of the race. So great battle happening here though between Payme and Rob. And as we head into St. Bernard's Bend, who's going to get the run? Everybody's playing nice here for the time being. So it is J-Set now in pit lane, so he's going to make his first stop of the race. He will give 2nd place up to Payme, and then of course Rob will move up into that final podium position here. So this is now becoming a two-way battle for 2nd place here on the racetrack as they track across the start-finish line. The fastest lap does belong to Medi here currently on the racetrack at 132.231 at the moment. I'm sure that will change as the race progresses here. We have VQS Holman's going to come around and grab that position as well, so he slides back up into 4th position. We've got TTJ that comes out of pit lane in 5th. He's got Risky chasing there in 6th and Finalized after his pit stop just in 7th place behind the pack here. So again, I kind of slightly lost track of who's made what pit stops here, so it's going to be a little bit of a surprise for myself here as well, but I do know that we have 1 stop still owed from our current race leader Medi here. Payme and J-Set for sure also owing a pit stop. Holman and Risky, I'm not sure, it's a question mark. They may have made both stops and we just missed one of them, but we're about to find out here over the next 11 and a half minutes here or so. Alright, let's get back to this little battle here for 2nd place between Payme and Rob. And again, coming into St. Bernard's Bend, Rob gets a nice tight line through there, so he just stays tucked right in tight behind Payme. It's all by design right now between these 2 drivers. There's no battling happening here at the moment, but again, much like we saw earlier with Medi behind Holman, the moment that an opportunity does open up, don't think for a second that we don't see a move happen there. So you can see Holman isn't that far off in the distance there, 4th place. We got J-Set coming back into pit lane, so he's clearing his final pit stop here, it looks like, as well on the racetrack. And it's going to be Payme and Rob Heck here for 2nd and 3rd position in very, very tight quarters right now as we head through the Eiger S's and into the Ornstein curves, leading into CERN. Hairpin corner right here. kind of a low mid-speed hairpin corner. It's an interesting one here at Deep Forest Raceway that leads us down into Zurich here, which of course leads us across the bridge over the river into Toblerone, and then that takes us up this huge long back straight where St. Bernard's Bend is awaiting our second and third place drivers here. Payme gets a good run out of Toblerone there, but so does Rob, still tucked into that slipstream, but not quite as close. As we head up into the Monte Rosa Tunnel there's no penalties that are going to change anything here, so Rob is not going to be making a move here, otherwise he probably would have pulled out already up and tried to take that inside line, so he was a little bit further back than maybe ideally he wanted to be coming into the braking zone in case he decided he wanted to make an offensive opportunity there, but for the time being, again, just going to settle back in behind Payme here, and they're going to continue tracking up the road. So it's Holman here in fourth place, 5.2 seconds. He's got teammate rated behind VQS Risky. He's got about 8 seconds. We got finalized 12 seconds down the road in behind those two, and Jason about 7 seconds in behind him. So big moment there for Medi as he was coming around the Orkstein curves, heading in towards Cern there. We've seen some dust kicking up from the outside track grass that is there between the curb and the wall. And as he heads down into Toblerone, he is moving and grooving right now with a 22.3 second gap here on the field currently. So it is Payme and Robbie Heck who are still in second and third place in this battle, for a lack of a better word, so to speak, is still ongoing. It's not really a battle here. Again, they're just playing nice right now with each other, trying to close the gap up to the race leader here right now, knowing that that race leader A still owes a pit stop most likely. So they know that right now, instead of battling and costing each other time, they really need to focus on trying to gain time on the race leader. So right now, in second and third place, got all the right thought processes going on here. The question is, can they now execute? Holman still 5.5 seconds in behind. You can see them as he's heading up into the Monte Rosa Tunnel here. So he's still in eyesight of those drivers, and Risky just potentially able to see his teammate going around St. Bernard's Bend there as he's coming into the tunnel, and that is most certainly the case. Finalized is about the same here from him to Risky. Maybe not quite seeing him if you go around the corner there, not quite. Risky just around the corner. Jay said about the same distance in behind finalized here. So this Medi, who seems like he's miles and miles ahead here. He's only about one sector ahead of these drivers right now, still owning a pit stop, so he's not really that far ahead in the grand scheme of things. And the pit stop does come to face, is going to be only 2 or 3 seconds, I figure, maybe 3-4 seconds separating one way or the other, where Medi comes out comparison to Payme and Rob, I think. Alright, so it is Medi here, again coming down that back straight, heading into St. Bernard's Bend here. New fastest lap from him currently on the track with a 131.985, so small improvement over the 32.2 at the lap previous to that, which I think was a small improvement over the 32.5 or 6 that was there in the first little bit of the race there as well. Payme's doing a good job right now trying to open the gap up to Robbie Hecker behind. So Rob was tucked right in behind Payme there for the first couple laps after that pit stop exchange. And now he is kind of battling that half second to 3/4 second gap in behind Payme at the moment, which is good for Payme because it's just a big enough of a gap where the guy's not able to at least get a nose in and make a move. Might be able to close you up on a braking from that gap, but he's definitely not going to get a move made. So good gap management right now from Payme up in second place. We got VQS Holman here in fourth, and a half second track with the penalty is not going to help charge back up the podium here. We've got Risky in fifth, we've got finalized in sixth, and we've got Jason here in seventh position. So again, small driver grid here today, meaning good points for our drivers, meaning good overall points game for those overall point standings as well. but Medi is opening the gap up here. As a matter of fact, the second and third place, it was 22.5, now it's 23.5, so he's actually gained second here over the last 2 or 3 laps from second and third place here right now. So Medi doing a great job doing exactly what he needs to do at this position and point in the race, still owing a pit stop. Neither does, he's going to be coming out on that racing hard tire at the end of the race, which means that the gap is really important here on the remaining of these drivers that are potentially going to be on mediums or soft tires in behind, trying to chase him back down. So the bigger the gap that he can open up and gain now, the better chance he has of getting that 2, 3, 4 second gap coming out of pit lane, which should be just enough here around this track to hold off a 1 lap charge for these guys on the more worn down medium and soft tires. Payme and Rob Heck here still for second place here. Payme still leading this group here as we head into the IGRS as we push the curves for the 20th time. So 4 laps to go, including the lap we're on here. This race again very quickly coming to an end here. I figured for the last 7 minutes of the race we'd be seeing some good battles, and we're at about that point right now. So the pit stop sequences haven't quite come to full effect yet, of course, with our race leader still on track racing on half-second track limit there for penalty there from Rob. Not ideal, but Holman is 7.5 seconds behind, so no immediate threat in behind for the time being. Here we got a half-second track limit penalty there for finalizes. Jay's trying to track him 5.4 seconds behind him. So the lap counter is running down here as we continue on. So there'll be 3 laps to go here as Medi comes around the start-finish line. They will be lap 21 of 23, so 3 laps remaining, including, of course, this lap that our race leader has just started here as he heads around Geneva for the 21st time today. We've got Payme here in second place, gap now 1.3 seconds for Rob Heck in behind. Rob's having to serve a track limit penalty there, so that did not, again, help his charge to second place. We've got VQS Holman here in 4th place right now, and it's 6.8 seconds now to Rob Heck. So that penalty definitely helping his case for a potential podium spot, but he's still got a lot of time to make up here on the racetrack. We got VQS Risky here in 5th place. He's in no man's land. Finalized is 12 seconds in behind him, but Jay said closing very quickly in behind finalized in 6th place there. And potential battle before the end of the race there if that continues to close up and the pace is closing up. So Medi here, 24.5 seconds to gap and growing here as we're nearing the end of our race. Now keeping in mind, I believe he still holds a pit stop here yet as well. We're going to see that either this time around or next time around on the racetrack. So coming around St. Bernard's corner here for the 3rd last time today. Huge slide as he comes down the corner there. Payme's still got a decent little gap there on Raw. We're keeping our eye on that, of course, the best we can here as well as we continue through our race here. But it is Medi here, and he is going to make that last lap dash like we suspected we were going to see from him. So we are going to see who's going to win this race in our final lap here. So it is really important for Payme and Rob here now to have a really clean lap here and be ready to try and close that gap up if there is one to be closed up after the pit stop sequence hits here. So here we go. It's Holman in 4th place. It's Risky in 5th place. It's finalized in 6th. And Jay set in behind 3.4 seconds. That gap has stayed there since the last time we're through. And 4th place Holman. Again, just trying to track in on that podium here right now. So it is Medi here. The gap is 25 seconds. So he's opened it up a little bit more here. Right before the end of the stint, comes around Tolman Road there, gets a clean run on the exit there. That's going to be huge on this back straight run. Keep your eyes on this battle for second place between Payme and Rob here. The gap is a second now between the 2 drivers, so Payme has a very small amount of breathing room there for the time being over Robbie in 3rd place. Ooh, big wiggle coming there from Medi there as he comes around St. Bernard's Bend, and there we go. Final pit stop is going to happen here. So let's get over to 2nd and 3rd place here. So it's going to be that racing hard tire we're going to see come out from Medi, as he comes out of pit lane here, it's going to be a one-lap dash, and that does clear the tire mandate. The tire mandate here at Pure Racing League is they have to touch the racetrack during racing conditions. That's it, so one lap is enough. Maybe there's a big slide there. Robbie's going to get a run. Here we go. Where is Medi going to come out in comparison to Payme and Robbie Heck here? But Payme has to come into pit lane. He did owe a pit stop, so that's interesting. Now, what does that mean for Holman as he comes around here? And we're not going to get an accurate look at the gap here quite yet. It's actually bigger than I thought it was going to be. I figured it was going to be 3-4 at the max at 5. And a one-lap dash here, I don't think that's going to be enough for Rob Heck to close in. It's going to be Holman. He is going to move up into third place there with that stop with Payme. Payme's still in pit lane there. He may lose that spot to Risky here as well. As Risky comes around there, Risky is going to come out. Looks like side by side there with Payme, and Payme is going to lose the position there to Risky as well. So one lap attack there for those two. 3.9 seconds separating 6th and 7th place. So 4.9 seconds is the gap now to Medi and Rob Heck here as we're at the halfway point of the racetrack here at Toblerone. It is just a long back straight, one hard braking zone, and a long run to the start-finish line here for Medi Afidi to bring home a finale win for himself here and potential championship at the end of the season here. We'll have to wait for officials to get word on that because I'm not sure where the points are sitting. So we are going to sit on board here with Medi here as he comes around. There is a potential battle between Payme and Risky there before the end of the race here as well. So we are going to do our best to try and catch that. Might not happen here. I think Payme is a little far back to make something happen at St. Bernard's Bend. But it is going to be Medi Afidi here with a round of 6 win here in the Pure Racing League Master Series finale. Congratulations to him. It's going to be Robbie Heck with a great second place finish here in the Master Series finale as well. And it's going to be VQS Holman here to take the final podium step today in our finale race this weekend in 3rd place. Congratulations to him. Great run here from his teammate VQS Risky up into 4th place, just able to hold the charge back from Payme, who's going to come home there in 5th place with that late race pit stop. There we go, meant to see him come through there. We've got finalized here in 6th position, and he is just heading up to the start-finish line here right now. Great race there for him as well to finish his season off, and the reserve driver coming in here, TTJ second to come through, 4 seconds behind here in 7th place today. Congratulations to all our drivers here from Pure Racing League in the Master Series today. And I believe that's the fastest lap as well. We'll have to go and check the unofficial results. That is, so it is pole position, race win, and fastest lap point here for Medi coming into the end of this race. It's going to be Robbie Heck in 2nd, Holman in 3rd, Risky in 4th, Payme in 5th, finalized in 6th, and Jay in 7th place. So there it is unofficially, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, now there'll be a 24-hour period for any incident reporting. And then stewarding officials will take it from there and assess, if needed, any penalties that may be necessary. So, congratulations to all our drivers. And I guess we should go set up some podium interviews. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I guess. That is next on the docket. So, bear with. I got to open up another program. And there we go. All right, we're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. We just got to go get into the Discord there and jump into our interview spot. I just got to find it. They have made some changes to their Discord recently. Commentary box. I'm assuming that's where it's going to be. That would make sense. And we're just going to go check our voice settings because this always seems to be an issue. There it is. Microphone. There we go. Alright, so we do have our second place finisher here with us. We're just going to give it a moment's time here. We'll let the, they got lucky today. You had a good run out there today, Payman. You look good, buddy. You look good. I thought you were good. I didn't realize you had another stop to make. I did say though, Chad, that I kind of lost track of that stuff a little bit. So we do have Holman here. It looks like as well. So let's go engage some podium interviews, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? We always love engaging podium interviews. So let's get started. As we have our third place and second place finisher here in the booth, we'll get started with VQS Holman here, who came in today. Was having a great race, had great pace, was in the lead of the race here for a little while, also battling for pole position and qualifying, coming out on that third step here today on the podium. So congratulations for a great finale race here for yourself today, and talk us through how your day went.
Thanks. Yeah. Honestly, I wasn't planning on even being here today, but I got home earlier than I thought from a weekend out of town. Ended up getting a decent amount of practice in to almost get pole position. Honestly, a little surprised by myself and the speed that I had in qualifying to get past Robbie, and almost got the lead into turn one, but eventually got it later. And yeah, I know the lead was so far so good. I was debating whether what tire Medi was on, and I assumed he was on mediums by the way that he was pushing me and probably was using me a little bit to break away from the field a bit more, which I predicted correctly. But then that also helped me get ahead and secure another third place, which I can't complain about.
Absolutely, and I mean tough combinations this season. Even though it was a fairly short season with 6 racing rounds, there were some fairly tough racing rounds here this season. So overall, pretty satisfied with how your overall season went.
Yeah, yeah, no, there's no complaints. First season for PRL Masters, I think, was a pretty good success. If it shows up for more seasons, I'll definitely be signing up for those as well.
Absolutely, and it's always good to stay sharp in the off season, so to speak, for a driver like yourself that's actively competing here. So now, of course, the silly question of the day is full focus now on GTWS.
Yep, Nations Cup through and through, and Toyota Cup for me as well, but no manufacturer series.
Well, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Look out for VQS Holman up in the nations ranks and that Toyota Gazoo Racing ranks here this season. And well, good luck, obviously, in your journey here in the online qualifiers this season. And I guess any final remarks on your race today, your championship season, and any shout-outs to the viewers watching at home.
No, again, can't really complain about my pace. I thought my pace was closer to Medi and Robbie a little bit more than it has been in the past, but maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I felt like my pace was fairly good specifically for this round, and yeah, no, just another shout out to everyone at VQS. Couldn't be on a better team, and yeah.
Well, cheers, and we definitely appreciate your support here at Pure Racing League, and congratulations on a great finish to your season here today with that third place finish.
Thanks.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Our third place finisher here today, VQS Holman from Vanquish Esports. Absolutely great team over there. Lots of crazy fast drivers. That's going to take us to our second place and first place finisher. And we're actually going to jump over to our first place finisher here first because it's very late where he is located. So we're going to have a chat with Medi here, who is our eventual race winner today. And again, another great performance from yourself here today on the racetrack. The competition was tough out there, guys. We're definitely putting the push on you out there, but your pit stop strategy again really was key for you here today. Talk us through how your race was for yourself today.
Yeah, well, basically, I was starting on the medium tires. I didn't really know which compound everyone else was on until we finished the second sector. But yeah, I assumed very quickly that Holman was on soft tires. Also, he was trying to overtake me. So yeah, I knew straight away that he was on soft tires. which helped me, I should say, because yeah, the slipstream was quite helpful on this track. I mean, not surprising, but I didn't think it was that much, because later on I was looking at the fastest lap on the bottom left, and I thought that Robbie was on mediums as well. But in the end, I saw that he was pitting in again, but he was on the soft tires, not on the medium. So yeah, from that I was relieved, because I thought that I was kind of screwed, to be fair. But in the end, not. And yeah, basically then I was in no man's land, I should say. I was quite alone in the race, but yeah, it was a fun combo as usual. Like, this little Megan trophy is really nice to drive. So yeah, basically that was it.
And of course, the weather conditions here on the racetrack today, with that overcast, cloudy conditions here at the racetrack today, did appear that the track conditions were a little bit slippery, especially in some of the corners, like turn number 11, that the sharp hairpin we call St. Bernard's Bend, and some of the middle sector there. Was that the case out there today?
To be fair, I don't really feel like it was slippery. I mean, there were a couple of times where the car was a bit sketchy over the curbs, like on the second last corner, especially. But any other than that, I didn't feel like it was slipperier than usual. Like, it almost caught me, in the fast S's in sector 1. I could have lost the rear at one point, but yeah, no, it was quite safe, I should say.
Absolutely, and I mean it's been a tough fight between you and Rob here throughout the season for that overall championship points lead here at the end of the season. I'm actually unsure where that's sitting, so I'm not going to speculate who has finished where here this season. You guys are probably more aware of that than I am at the moment. But a great racing season from you. It's been an absolute treat to watch you race all season. Just how you process quickly what's happening in the race and how you define your strategy while things are happening has been really impressive and a treat to watch from the viewers and myself as well. So we appreciate that. And I guess any final remarks on your championship season and the race today, and any shout outs to the viewers watching at home?
Yeah, well, as usual, I don't really practice that much for any of those rounds. Like, it's at least half an hour or an hour. But for this one, I showed up like half an hour before the start. So I had to know very quickly how the tire wear was gonna be, especially on the softs, so I could have basically an idea of what I could do. And I was, yeah, it was spot on, because I did exactly what I had to do, like 12 laps on mediums, 10 on the softs, and 1 on the hards. But yeah, like, it's basically it. Like, I mainly start on the mediums or the hards. I never start on the softs, because yeah, that would kill them way too quickly with the full fuel load, and also with the temperature you have at the start of the race. But yeah, so basically that's it for about the strategy. But yeah, about the remarks, yeah, about the championship, I quite enjoyed it. The battles with Robbie for the championship, like yeah, I wasn't really sure if I was gonna beat him after the 3 first rounds. But in the end, I eventually managed to gut you, Robbie. Sorry, but yeah. Again, like, the combos were pretty interesting. It's like, those combos were not very used for GT World Series. At least not that I'm aware of. Yeah, I wanna thank again Robbie, Counterliver, and the other people that organizing those racing leagues. It's yeah, I enjoy them. So yeah. And I wanted to thank you as well for live streaming as usual. And yeah, basically that's it. That's a lot to say, but yeah.
Well, we appreciate it, and we appreciate your support here at Pure Racing League, and it was a treat for the viewers to get a little bit of a behind the scenes look outside of the GTWS of some of our top drivers here in the platform as well. So the viewers really appreciate your time spent here with us as well, and we hope to see you back next season. And congratulations on an absolutely fantastic Master Series run here as well this season.
Yep, thank you, and I would definitely come back for more seasons.
Oh, that's what we love to hear. And there you go, viewers. We will be seeing a return from Mehdi Hafidi all the way from his home in France. So we appreciate that time. I know it's very late where you're at, and we'll let you get back and celebrate there. So congratulations, and thank you for your time as always.
Yep, thank you. Thank you a lot.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. ERM's Mehdi Hafidi, current defending 2024 manufacturers GTWS manufacturers world champion. And now we're going to go to Robbie Heck. And the reason why we waited for Rob last is because obviously he is one of the heads of Pure Racing League here, and just gives him an opportunity to say his thank yous at the end of the day here as well. But let's talk about your race here today. You knew that you had to give it everything you had here to try and overtake Mehdi here. It was a very, very close battle all season long between you two. Congratulations on a very hard fought second place win today. The strategy just wasn't quite enough to get you close enough to make that last lap dash. Talk us through your race today, and how was it out there?
It was good. I mean, I think like what Mehdi said when he got when Holman took the soft tires and took the lead early, he kind of was able to get carried in the first stint with the draft until he eventually was quicker than Holman when the softs dropped off. I tried to do the same thing with Paymay on the second stint, but ultimately I got 2 penalties in the second stint and just too many mistakes. But yeah, I mean, it was a good race. Mehdi's pace, I mean, doing that lap time he did in the race is a little insane. I mean, Mehdi's a beast. What can I say?
Absolutely, but I mean, I guess if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, right? So, a valiant charge this season, not only in this series but the GT3 series as well. You're really giving them the business there in both championships here this season. So, overall satisfied with the performance and the battle with Mehdi overall throughout the seasons here this year.
Oh yeah, I mean, I even got to beat him a couple times throughout both championships. So I mean, that was nice. You know, it's an improvement from last season where Mehdi just kind of walked away with every race. So yeah, we'll be back for the future seasons for sure, and try to beat him in the whole season maybe next time. But that's never easy.
Absolutely, but we always got to have goals as racers to continue to push ourselves further and past our comfort zones and limits. So, and I mean, you guys just absolutely are incredible at doing exactly that, breaking the limits of the game. I like to call it. These guys do some incredible stuff on the racetracks, but really great racing season. I mean, great combination today. I thought that the finale round with the Megan Trophy and Deep Forest was going to be a great combination. It turned out to be exactly that. Great little car for this racetrack.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how was it out there? Again, I'm going to touch base. The track looked like it was a little bit cooler today, so that actually helped a little bit with the tire conditioning under the cars at that 8 times tire wear today.
Um, when I was coming up with the combinations for the season, I wanted to take into account that, and I wanted to try to find the best balance uh, for strategy, so that the races would be, as exciting as possible with strategy. And I think I did pretty well with that this season when organizing what the cars and tracks we were going to be on. So yeah, I think I think it was pretty good. I mean, I think the cooler temps definitely helped with the tire wear for sure.
Absolutely. And, all the viewers watching at home, all the racers that are watching as well, all these small little things do factor in here on the Gran Turismo 7 platform now. And, it's a lot of things that a lot of us don't think about, but it's all these small little things that make the big difference. And when you're at the level of Betty and Robbie and Holman and our podium finishers and all our racers here today on track, these are the little things that they're thinking about and trying to perfect. And that is where it's making a big difference in their overall pace on the racetracks as well. But a great racing season from you. And I mean, I just want to give you the floor. I mean, obviously, as one of the main guys and main admin staff here at Pure Racing League, it's the end of the season. We're going to be away for a little while as you guys do your thing competing for the GTWS. So we wish you all the best of luck, each and one of you. And you're on a good run right now, so keep it going. And we'll give you the floor and just let you kind of send the seasons off here, and then we'll touch base.
I mean, of course, thank you, and thank you to everybody who watched and participated, and you for commentating, even when you were having the technical issue at the one point, and we were able to get back going. So I mean, it was a good strong second round of seasons from PRL. I would expect that we'll be seeing sometime after the GTWS is finished with the qualifier series, that we'll probably be seeing some type of announcement from us here at PRL on what our future season is going to be looking like.
Absolutely, and we did touch base a little bit earlier in the stream on that, as well as obviously the focus now for a lot of the racers here at Pure Racing League is these online qualifiers, trying to obviously secure as many points and get the best finishing position as you all can, so you can get back to the live stage and compete for that world championship. And again, the community wishes you all the best of luck. We'll be there rooting for you guys all the way through. And congratulations on a great racing season. It's been a lot of fun this season, being in the box, in the booth with the competition levels this season, and I really do feel like this Master Series has a lot of potential. So hopefully we'll see a season 2 from it, but we'll definitely be seeing a season 3 coming from the GT3 series for sure from PRL. I think that is only going to continue to get stronger and more competitive as the seasons grow on. So I think that you guys did a great job with your seasons this season. I think the combos were great. I think that the regulations behind it and how everything was handled behind the scenes was done very well. And I think that we ended up with 2 really great racing championships out of it, and some new champions and some returning champions as well. So it should be interesting to see what season 3 holds. But I guess any final remarks to our viewers watching at home, and of course for yourself to finish off the championship season.
Well, I mean, for next season, if anyone wants to race Masters, we'll have a poll up. I'm not sure if we'll continue a Masters season 2 right away. That might be something that we do next year. But as far as GT3 goes, we're definitely going to be doing a GT3 next. I mean, that should be pretty obvious. I mean, that championship is really, really strong. I'd like to see maybe a couple more divisions this next time around. And, us at the staff will try to be a little bit more on top of, giving updates next season. But, I mean, I'm really looking forward to the future seasons, but just kind of got to lock in for these Nations Cup and Manufacturers Cup championships and get the job done.
Absolutely, and that is where the focus from Pure Racing League's races is now, ladies and gentlemen. So, again, congratulations to all our competitors, no matter where it is in the field that they ended up, no matter how many races it is that they did actually able to make it to this season. We appreciate every single one of our racers here at Pure Racing League. We appreciate the administration staff and everybody behind the scenes making the tough calls and the tough decisions that need to be done behind the scenes as well. And thank you to you guys and gals at home, the viewers. We appreciate you so much. New Pure Racing League season announcements coming in a little bit of time, so stay tuned to the pages and the socials for that. And we appreciate everybody here from GT45 Gaming. So with that being said, everybody, we hope you all have a fantastic rest of your weekend. And go tell all your friends what Pure Racing League is hearing. Don't forget to like and share on the way out if you haven't done so already. We appreciate it. Remember, you all matter. Stay winning. And we'll catch you all on the next one. Ciao for now.